ओ नो मैन, बहुत बुरा हुआ यार, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए था, आई रियली फील सॉरी फॉर यू। ये जाने देना यार, ये दुनिया ही ऐसी है। वो लड़का या वो लड़की वो ही कैरेक्टर लिस्ट थी। तुम तो बहुत अच्छे हो, कोई बात नहीं, तुम निराश मत होना, मैं तुम्हारे साथ हूँ ना, एंड ऑल दैट सॉर्ट ऑफ स्टफ। अगेन, here's the catch. Whatever those kind words I say, why am I saying it? Because I'm trying to be likable to you. Instead, if I say, first of all, stop crying and acting like a loser and nonsense, all right? It's not too big of a problem. Just try to get over it, all right? Bad things happen to all of us, and so to you as well. Let's take responsibility and fix it. For instance, I might look a bit careless and ruthless to you, but I'm aware that this is the only way you're gonna break this pattern of blaming and crying over and over again, right? And guys, the sad reality of our culture is when you cry about your problems and you portray yourself as a victim, you get more attention and more people liking you and sympathizing with you. But in the end, you would never grow. You'll be destroyed, right? Because people want to portray themselves that they care and they are kind-hearted, but actually they don't really care of what you are feeling right now. They don't care. I just don't understand why we love promoting these helpless feelings of anxiety and depression. Like these teenagers, I see them crying on the internet like, I have got depression, oh, I've got anxiety. You just need nobody to feel sorry for you, sympathize you, or maybe feel sorry for your life, feel bad about you, say those kind words. No, you don't need. But again, the problem is, if I tell you some kind and sympathetic words, you'll feel good. And I'll be perceived as a kind human being who brought you up. But really, it's quite the opposite. By sympathizing with you, I'm not bringing you up. I'm actually pushing you further down. So you're watching this video, and I assume you had a breakup or maybe you lost a job. You are feeling pathetic about your life and your purpose. You must have picked up your phone and called a few friends. You explained your situation, your terrible condition. And now during those conversations with your friends, what were you expecting from them? And what you expect in that particular moment is what decides the type of person you're about to become in future. Well, it seems very complex, but no, it's quite simple. Let's dive deep into the story. So I remember the days when I was going through anxiety and I was very depressed for almost 3 consecutive years, 2017, 18 and 19. During those times, I used to call up a few friends to help me figure out what's wrong with my life. So a few of them told me to take some medication and drugs and all that sort of stuff. In their perspective, they were genuinely trying to help me and their intent was good. But in the end, I was aware that it'll help me in the short term, but the damage caused by using those drugs and medications is something from which I would never recover in the long term. So by the end of the year 2019, with no clue in my mind, I gathered some courage and decided to share this with my dad, and he realized a lot of things which were going wrong in my life. So he took me out for a walk and began talking about his teenage experience, like how his life was full of struggles and how he overcame and where he is now. With a ruthless tone, he told me, all of what you think in your teenage years is total bullshit, which is not going to last with you forever. So don't behave like you are the only one who's suffering. You are not the only one who's having these tiny little struggles in life. Everybody out there is struggling with some or the other problem. So if you are my son, you won't be a victim. You'll be victorious. And if you ever behave like a victim, I'm gonna slap you and not sympathize with you. Just get that straight. At that point of time, I had no words. I was about to yell at my father for him being so harsh on me, but I resisted because, he would have slapped me then. So I resisted. A few months passed and I realized that the reason I was anxious was because I was living too much in the future. And when I was depressed, I was living too much in the past. So this is why depression and anxiety happens to most of you guys. If you've been trying to figure out, here's a simple definition that I have created for myself, and I would love to share it with you as well. So the primary cause of anxiety is when you are living too much in the future, and so you feel anxious. And the primary cause of depression is when you are living too much in the past, and so you feel depressed. Yep, simple. And along with my depression and anxiety, I realized this one poor habit of mine, which made my condition even worse, was the habit of comfort seeking. I'll tell you how I used to seek comfort when I used to feel sad and talk to my friends about my sadness. They used to sympathize with me, and their words used to make me feel good for some time because, it feels like you have some good friends who are there to provide you comfort. But again, here's the catch. It's because of them sympathizing with me, it took me so many years to come out of that tiny little problem of anxiety and depression. Why am I saying this? Just tell me, how many times has it happened to you that your friends and your close ones felt sorry for you or your loss? They sympathized with you and your life changed from constant misery to happiness. Has it ever happened? No, it never happens. When somebody feels sorry for you and sympathizes with you, a lot of the time we don't realize that the comfort-seeking habit is actually not helping us. It's making things even worse. I'll tell you how. So first of all, tell me, why do you feel sorry for yourself? It's because you are, starting to entertain the idea that you can't overcome that problem or the struggle. And secondly, why would somebody else feel sorry for you? It's because they are starting to project their insecurities on you. And so is the reason they sympathize with you. And that's exactly what my friends did to me during those years. They were constantly sympathizing with me because somewhere in their life, they were also insecure. I'm not saying they were wrong. I definitely know, they were trying to help me out, but their kindness and sympathy never helped me come out of my depression and anxiety. Well, this is what they never understood. What actually helped me was my dad's brutal honesty. Regardless, I felt very bad hearing those words that time, but with time, I realized that this is actually what I needed. I needed somebody to tell me the truth. Well, nowadays when I talk to people who come to me with their so-and-so problems, I don't show sympathy for people who have learned to act like a victim or loser. The only time I feel bad for somebody is when they have a genuine problem, like mental, physical, or societal, which cannot be cured. Other than that, I don't sympathize with anybody because I've experienced and I'm aware of the power that human beings have. I think no human being should feel sorry for themselves or others because it seems like a disrespect to your inner self, alright? Nowadays, I don't allow my friends and my loved ones to feel like a victim or a loser because I want them to understand how strong they are. Just what my dad did to me. He did not feel sorry for me. Instead, he made me aware of how strong I am. It actually irritates me to see how people are so much in love with this feeling of helplessness. They actually feel helpless about everything because they think they are the only ones who's suffering. They will blame circumstances. They never take responsibility. They always have some reason to blame others. And if I tell them to stop behaving like a victim, they'll say, "Oh, Yash, it's easier for you to just speak. You don't know how. You don't know about the tough times that I'm going through." And I simply respond to them by saying it's total nonsense because all of the stuff that's happened to you doesn't just happen to you. It has happened to me in the past. Bad things happen to everybody, and bad things happen to the good people as well. And that's why I'm here, living my life peacefully and with gratitude. I'm actually really, really thankful to nature for blessing me with those bad times. Because during those bad times, Some people break and other people break records. But the primary problem these days is that our culture has come to an extent where these teenagers who have just started to experience the challenges in life and they are complaining about life. They are committing suicides. Don't you think it's ridiculous? No wonder all of this is miserable, yet they live in a constant mindset that someday some Superman will come and take all of their problems away. So is the reason they feel like and they act like victims. They feel like they are the only ones who's suffering. And some Superman will come someday and he'll take all of their problems away. It's not gonna happen. Well, I'm not here to inspire or motivate people. No. My job is to just make you aware. Motivation and inspiration you have to manage for yourself. Being said that, I've been seeing a lot of those who claim to motivate people, but again, here's the catch. You know what? They're actually demotivating people because they're constantly feeling sorry and bad for people's failures. They're constantly sympathizing with them. Like, just ask yourself, have you ever heard of somebody who got success after being sympathized by people? Just give me a single name who succeeded due to people feeling sorry for him. No. Great people don't need people to feel sorry for them because they are not born to settle with just sympathy and kind words. Well, this is the thing that you need to realize, but you just love acting like a victim because that's the only time you're gonna get some comfort and attention. You're gonna get somebody to empathize with you and be there for you. This feeling of helplessness can get you some attention. If you are an attention seeker, go for it. But if you believe you are an achiever, you just need nobody to feel sorry for you, sympathize you, or maybe feel sorry for your life, feel bad about you, say those kind words. No, you don't need. But again, the problem is, if I tell you some kind and sympathetic words, you'll feel good. And I'll be perceived as a kind human being who brought you up. But really, it's quite the opposite. By sympathizing with you, I'm not bringing you up. I'm actually pushing you further down. It's the problem with our culture that when people empathize with you, it's seen as kindness. But what a lot of people don't realize is when you empathize with somebody, when they're acting like a victim or a loser, you are actually destroying their power. You are not uplifting them. And the only reason people try to sympathize with you is because it makes them feel good. Hypothetically, if something bad happens to you tomorrow, like you had a breakup, right? And if I come to you and act like, oh no man, बहुत बुरा हुआ यार, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए था, I really feel sorry for you. ये जाने देना यार, ये दुनिया ही ऐसी है. वो लड़का या वो लड़की वो ही कैरेक्टर लिस्ट थी. तुम तो बहुत अच्छे हो, कोई बात नहीं, तुम निराश मत होना, मैं तुम्हारे साथ हूँ ना, and all that sort of stuff. Again, here's the catch. Whatever those kind words I say, why am I saying it? Because I'm trying to be likable to you. Instead, if I say, first of all, stop crying and acting like a loser and nonsense, all right? It's not too big of a problem. Just try to get over it, all right? Bad things happen to all of us, and so to you as well. Let's take responsibility and fix it. For instance, I might look a bit careless and ruthless to you, but I'm aware that this is the only way you're gonna break this pattern of blaming and crying over and over again, right? And guys, the sad reality of our culture is when you cry about your problems and you portray yourself as a victim, you get more attention and more people liking you and sympathizing with you. But in the end, you would never grow. You'll be destroyed, right? Because people want to portray themselves that they care and they are kind-hearted, but actually they don't really care of what you are feeling right now. They don't care. I just don't understand why we love promoting these helpless feelings of anxiety and depression. Like these teenagers, I see them crying on the internet like, I have got depression, oh, I've got anxiety, and I'm not saying these problems are not serious. I'm genuinely concerned, and I know it's serious, but it's not impossible, right? Because I've been through all of that in the past, and I never blamed anybody. I took the responsibility because I knew nobody could help me even if they wanted to, right? I need to do it for myself, and I took responsibility instead of blaming others. So now you're gonna ask me, okay, Yash, you tell me what should I do instead? And genuinely, if you wanna stop behaving like a victim, I'm sharing with you this simple old school hack, which is called as being responsible. Yes, you heard that right. Responsibility is the cure to victimhood. No matter what happens to me, I remind myself that I'm not gonna act like a victim or a loser. If something wrong happens to me, like somebody stole my wallet, I'm responsible because I failed to keep my wallet safe. If I get fired from that job, I'm responsible. Maybe because I was not competitive enough. If some girl rejects me, if some girl rejected me, I'm responsible. Maybe I'm not attractive or well mannered enough. If somebody steals my car, I'm responsible. Maybe I didn't lock it properly, or maybe I didn't park it in a safe place, or maybe if I would have installed some security systems in my car, the thief could have been caught easily, right? By all this, I'm trying to make you understand that taking responsibility is the only way you can be in control of what's happening in your life, right? Because the moment you begin to blame others, you lose the game. You have given away the power and control of your life. And I don't think disempowered people could achieve anything, because disempowered people is equals to losers. Because if you can't even change your own thoughts, how are you going to change your own life, right? This habit of taking responsibility is what empowers you, and you stop acting like a victim ever again. People who are self-responsible, they never blame. Even if somebody else did wrong, they say, I'm responsible because I'm in control and I still have the power to turn the tables around. Instead of blaming others for my past, I should think about the things I could have done in the past to avoid all of those bad events and bad people from happening in my life. All right? And some of you might know that I take these Q&A sessions on my Instagram channel, on my Instagram page, sorry. Most of the questions I receive in my session, I genuinely feel really good that people in my audience are super confident of themselves, and I feel great. Yes, I'm just being honest. I feel really great to have such amazing people in my community. But, sometimes there's these 2 or 3 of them in my DMs who start complaining and crying and arguing with me at some point, and I simply stop responding to their messages, because even if I try my best to help you out, you're not gonna stop complaining about some or the other problem. So it's better I should be focusing on those who genuinely wanna recover and grow. Because there is this one problem with me. Sometimes people associated with me, they get hurt for the reason that I'm very blunt and I don't tolerate drama. A lot of people want that drama in life because they don't have enough challenges in life. So they artificially produce challenges so they could get something to be dramatic about, something to cry about. I just hate this mindset. I just hate drama, right? And also the reason why you feel helpless and you need that drama is because some gurus and babas and pandits, they actually make you feel like you are helpless. Oh, I'm going to help you. I'm going to look after you. And tell me, do they ever help? They never do. But you know why they portray themselves kind? Is because it gets them more bhakts in their mandali. And the problem with the bhakts is that they actually love this feeling of helplessness. Because these people love to know that they are helpless and somebody's gonna help them. And because of your stupidity, because of their stupidity, these babas and pandits make money. Alright? But on the other hand, if some normal person like me comes out and says, no, You're not helpless. You have the power to fix everything. And in return, I get hatred because I'm transferring the responsibility back to you. And I think people just don't want that responsibility anymore. No offense, I would like to be honest. If you continue your life like this, you would never come out of these little mental health issues because you have become a victim to this culture of helplessness. Choice is yours. Fight against it or get victimized by it.